Welcome back. We're looking at reading and viewing, and we're looking at information and literary texts, and you can be asked this sort of thing. Directions from a literary text indicating proportion, distance, and so on. Now, proportion is really size, which is the height or the depth, the breadth, the length. That's proportion. You can be given a visual text, so do expect visual texts, and you can be given travel timetables. Our first task is to use directions from a literary text, and the text that we're going to use is the Bible. Here are the instructions God gave Noah on how to build the ark. We start with pre-reading. Remember, we're going to practice our skill of skimming, and that's to get an idea of how the text is laid out. What you would look at is a text like this has numbers because it's directions, it's instructions. So that gives you an idea, okay, I'm going to see numbers 1, 2, 3, and so on. And obviously also it's going to be short points. Let's have a look at the actual instructions. It's going to mention gopher wood. Now, we're not sure what gopher wood is, but I've given you a picture here of a cypress tree. And we think that this is the wood that is mentioned in the instructions for building the ark. Okay, now let's look at the instructions. Building the ark. Make an ark of gopher wood. Make rooms in the ark. Cover the wood inside and out with pitch. Here are the instructions for building the ark. It must be 137.16 meters long, 22.86 meters wide, and 13.7 meters high. Have a large window. Put a door in the side of the ark. Build 3 stories or decks. When I cover the earth with flood waters, come into the ark with your sons and your wife and your sons' wives. Bring also 2 of every kind of living creature, 1 male and 1 female. They must be alive. They must include all the birds, cattle, and every kind of creeping thing. Bring all the food you can. When you look at your reading, you would look back at that text and you do a close analysis. Were there any words there that you didn't know? Was there anything you felt that you needed to understand in more detail? For example, look at number 3. It says, cover the wood inside and out with pitch. So part of your reading would be a close reading to say, what is the meaning of pitch? And pitch is a kind of tar, you know, like we use on the roads, and you would put it on the inside and the outside of wood, and it would make it waterproof. So part of your close reading is vocabulary and making sure you understand. But what happens after you've understood the passage? Your post reading, you could get this kind of thing. From the information in the text, draw a picture of the ark. Now, you might say, but drawing is not part of English, but you could be asked to do this. Now you would exercise your skill of scanning. You would now go back to the passage. There was a large section about bring in your wife and your son's wives and all the creatures. You don't need that. So now you're looking for, what information do I need? And you'd go back and you'd find all the information about proportion. How long, how high, how many stories or decks. What is that? It means level 1, level 2, level 3. So your ark would have to have 3 levels, like a block of flats with 3 levels, 3 floors. So you would show your understanding by being able to draw an ark. And here is not quite a drawing of an ark, but something that you might like to look at. And we've even got a giraffe there sticking out. That's not part of the instructions, but you would be able to draw something that would look like that. Our second task is on a visual text, a place of public interest. And what we've chosen here is the Nelson Mandela Bridge. So have a look at that photograph. You would use the skills of skimming and scanning. So you start by taking a quick look. Yes, I can see the bridge on the right-hand side. I can see the city in the background. And what's that at the bottom? Oh, those are trains. Then you would look more closely. Here, use any questions that you might be given to help you focus more closely on that text. What kind of questions could you be asked? Well, start with factual questions, sometimes some general knowledge. Where is it? In Johannesburg. When was it built? Do you know that? Around 2003? In whose honor was it built? Well, that's easy. It's called the Nelson Mandela Bridge. Why is this person honored? That's factual, but it's also a bit of opinion there. Then you would scan for detail. Now, you could be asked, what kind of bridge is it and how it was built? Don't panic. Look back at your photograph. You can see that that photograph shows the two tall towers. And then you can see these things here. So you need a word like cable or girder, perhaps. Otherwise, you just say strong metal holding the bridge. When you're asked for this kind of detail, don't think, but I'm not a bridge builder. Just look closely and describe it. You can see there is a place for cars to go over, but also on the left-hand side, you can see place for pedestrians. So in this segment, we've looked at literary texts and visual texts, and we've looked at three basic kinds of question: a background knowledge, information, a factual question, and we've looked at opinionative questions. And we've looked at the skills of skimming, quickly getting an idea, and scanning, looking for detail. We're going to continue reading and viewing in our next segment.